Have you ever been in a position where you're trying to communicate with someone who didn't speak the same language as you and you just did not know what to do? That was me at my old job, standing there fryers full of hot oil, trying to interpret what my Spanish speaking coworker was urgently trying to tell me. No shared language, no training, no time. Just two people trying to get things done. What should have taken 10 seconds of our time took 5 minutes. And honestly, at first it was frustrating. But over time, those language barriers became less of an obstacle, and those same coworkers became one of the reasons I look forward to clocking in. At first, every shift felt like a mental workout. We weren't just trying to do our jobs. We were trying to understand each other while we were doing it. I tried explaining something in English, they'd respond in Spanish, and we both just stand there looking at each other, hoping it would magically figure itself out. So we got creative. We used Google Translate, we'd point, we'd gesture, act things out. Basically, it felt like a live game of charades during a lunch rush. It was messy, but we made it work. According to a study in the International Journal of Social Science and Humanity, language barriers in a workplace cause communication delays, but they also create equal opportunities for stronger interpersonal bonds when people adapt. And that's exactly what happened. As frustrating as it was sometimes, the effort it took to communicate brought us closer together. That shared struggle turned into a mutual respect for one another. After a while, I started to realize the issue wasn't always the language. Sometimes it was how things were said, or what was expected based on culture. In Spanish-speaking culture, there's often more formality, more indirect phrasing. Meanwhile, American English is straight to the point and maybe sometimes too blunt. So when I gave instructions, I probably sounded rude, and when they responded more vaguely, I'd assume they didn't understand, when in reality, they were just being polite. Psychology today explains that most miscommunication in multicultural environments comes not from the words themselves, but from the tone, gestures, and expectations. It's not what you say, it's how you say it and how it's received. That really hit me, because once I stopped worrying about being perfect and started paying attention to how I was showing up, things got better. A little more patience, a little more effort, and suddenly we were working in sync. What I took away from all of this wasn't just how to get the job done, it was how to connect to people. I didn't need to speak perfect Spanish, and they didn't need to speak perfect English. We just needed to be a little more patient with each other and willing to meet each other in the middle. Honestly, those extra minutes figuring something out weren't wasted. They built trust in each other. We didn't just become coworkers, we became teammates. According to Relay Pro, employees who bridge language barriers often create more inclusive environments. Even if they're not fluent, it's the effort that matters the most. And that stuck with me. Now, whenever I find myself struggling to understand someone, whether it's language or just perspective-based, I remind myself, communication isn't about perfection, it's about effort. So no, I myself am not fluent in Spanish, but I am fluent in trying. And that's gotten me a lot further than I thought it would. Overcoming language barriers doesn't always mean knowing the right words. It just means being willing to listen, to learn, and to meet someone halfway. Because when we do that, we don't just make our jobs easier, we make each other's lives easier. Thank you. Goodbye.